I'm Jon Benson, and welcome to the 3 biggest roadblocks to creating a money magnet autopilot VSL, that stands for video sales letter, and the 5 tools to help you vaporize these roadblocks. And I am, again, Jon Benson. I'm known as the 10-figure sales copy coach. I help a lot of people make a lot of money in sales copy, specifically video sales letters. I am, in fact, the godfather of the video sales letter, meaning that I actually created this form of marketing back in 2009. I'm the CEO of the upcoming authority site Digital Publisher. And as a fun note, I'm a huge fan of monkeys. If anyone has one, type it into the chat. I have a monkey because I really want one. Or if you have a specific question, select the question option and ask away. We'll get to as many questions as we can at the end of the workshop. Okay, here's a guarantee I have for you. My guarantee for sticking around to the end of this workshop. It's pretty audacious. You can create a money magnet VSL, and I'll tell you what that is in a few seconds, in 7 days or less. You can. Writing less than 500 words of your own. With your business virtually on autopilot, again, I'm going to prove this to you, and without ever having to worry about traffic. How's that for a guarantee? Let's see if I can live up to it, okay? Today we're going to cover 3 things. It's going to be in rapid fire, lots of stuff to cover, lots of content. Have something to write with if you don't have it already. Number 1, solutions to the 3 VSL roadblocks that I just mentioned. There are 3 specific copy roadblocks that keep people from succeeding online with video sales letters, sales pages, even email, anything that sells your product. There's a roadblock. In fact, there's 3 of them. And we're going to cover those 3 roadblocks, and I'm going to give you actual solutions that you can apply to them today to eradicate them. We're also going to cover how to create a really lucrative product, the $sign product, a lucrative product or a lead magnet. It doesn't matter if you have a product or a service right now. I want you to be able to create a digitized product of that in 7 to 28 days. So even if you have a product, it's going to make you a lot more efficient at it. And inside this cool little tool I'll share with you later, I think you'll find some really awesome options to help your product become even more successful. And 3, the most killer traffic tip that I've ever seen. That's toward the very end of the workshop today, so stick around for that. Okay, I've got another special gift for sticking around, and I'm calling them the 2 online sales multipliers. The first is a simple copy trick that you can use to jack your sales and conversions, and on average is about 33% greater retention, meaning that you get more people sticking around about 33% longer once you use this. It's literally a slide of this presentation. It's really short and simple. And I've seen as high as 28% conversions through using this one trick. And what's really cool is you can use it in email. It's not, you don't have to even have a video sales letter or a sales page. You can use it in email. And then I'm going to reveal a little known website that I use to ethically steal my competitors' traffic. Don't worry, it's completely legal. You may know about it, you may not. In case you don't know about it, it's really awesome. I'm going to show you how I use it at the very end of the workshop today. So please do stick around. Now, how valuable is your time? I could waste it and give you over 1,000 testimonials from the materials that you're learning today, but I'll give you just one so we can move on. Jennifer used what I'm going to be presenting today and used it to grow her business by 30% in just 6 months. So this workshop isn't just a bunch of fluff. This workshop is going to give you some tangible tools that you can use today, and I believe it's going to give you some solutions that you've been really needing for your business to take it to the next level and beyond. Okay, here's what my life looked like before I figured out what I'm going to share with you today. This is what 17 hours a day, 7 days a week for years on end of working really hard will do to a young man. I'm sorry to scare you right off the bat, but this is reality for me. And this, as you can probably figure out, is a heart attack. Have you ever had a heart attack? If you have, if you feel free to share it, say yes in the comments. That would be awesome to share. It's not awesome to have because I hope that you haven't. If you know anyone that has had a heart attack, maybe say yes. The pain is indescribable. And in case you're curious, I had a heart attack and I was barely 40 years old. And it was obviously I have bad genes, but it was primarily through the stress that I was under from having to work so hard to try to make ends meet online. I was working like a madman. And that wasn't the scariest part. The scariest part of this experience was this. It wasn't an ambulance that took me to the hospital. It was a care flight helicopter. So I was pretty scared, to be honest with you. I was really, really terrified. When they wheel you into a care flight copter, I hope that you never have to have that experience, but your nose is literally an inch away from the ceiling. So you feel like you're already in your coffin. And I'm hearing these paramedics talk like, man, this guy's so young. I don't think he's going to make it. And I'm like sitting there lying on like gurney in total agony because it really hurts. Let me tell you. And I'm going, no, screw you guys. I'm going to make it. Come on, man. No way I'm not going to die from this. And, it's really rare to have a heart attack that young. It really is. But when you're working like I was working, like you may be working right now, it's more common than you realize. We can work ourselves into an early grave, you and I. And I'm going to give you some tools that I discovered through this experience to help me work smarter, to help me build residual income, to help me put more of my business on autopilot. Now, I'm not going to give you the 4-hour work week spiel. I don't buy into it. I love Tim Ferriss. He's a friend of mine. I don't buy into it simply because I enjoy work. I grew up in a blue-collar family. My dad worked outside all day long, 36 years at the same place for a railroad, okay? Didn't come from a rich family at all, but I grew up in that blue-collar ethic, man, and I still have it today. I just work more intense, like more focused, and I can let a lot of my business on autopilot go. And I'll show you what I mean with real numbers here in a moment, how this is working for me, because I had nothing on autopilot back then. Every dollar I made had to be scrounged for. Can you relate to that? Every dollar you make, you have to go out and send another email. You have to do this or do that and make this, make that. Hey, you got to set your business up. That's true. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that today. You got to set it up, got to get that money magnet VSL working for you, got to get these principles in place. But once you do, you can take your hands off the steering wheel a little bit and relax. Now, I'm going to show you what this led to for me. I want to talk about success milestones. Right now, you have several success milestones. These are indicators to let you know that you've arrived. I want to know what yours are. Please type them into the chat right now. I really do want to know. Do you have one? Like, what would be the thing that said, wow, if I got X or did X, this would mean I made it. I made it. I had some pretty funny ones. One of the success milestones I had was to see my logo on a t-shirt of someone I didn't know, which happened, or to have an autograph from people that I didn't know, which happens a lot. So I had those, but I had some really big ones. And the really big one that I had was this. I wanted to have a home on the beach in California, in the bluffs overlooking both the mountains and the ocean. Now, this was my home in Malibu, California for 6 years. 5,400 square foot mansion, to be honest with you, are right on the bluffs in the most lucrative property in California. And before you think, oh yeah, that's because you sell all these really expensive courses on marketing. No. This was entirely purchased from selling ebooks that were purchased at $47 at the most. And they were all done through video sales letters. So let that sink in, okay? Now, I recently moved to San Diego. My partner and I, we were looking for a similar home here in the Del Mar area. She and I are both very particular about the style of home. And if you've been to San Diego, there's a whole lot of Tommy Bahama. Not knocking that for everybody, but for us, we like more contemporary. So it's taking a little longer to find that. But let me ask you a question. What kind of home would you like to own? Is that a success milestone for you? Are you happy in your present home, or would you like to move into a bigger one? Maybe more room for your family. If you don't believe you can, do take heart. I want to give you some strategies to help you do this. Maybe your success milestone is travel. Here's a shot of me with my laptop, which looks like the same place, but it's not. This is actually the south of France. I lived in the south of France just because I could, and I took my laptop with me. I had the freedom to travel because I had enough time to do it. So that was cool. And this is me on my chopper going around Texas, where I grew up. My laptop is in a backpack that you can't see. But this is kind of cool. I have the freedom to travel the world if I want and work anywhere I want. That's cool. Or not even work at all if I really wanted to kick back, but I'm not quite that lazy. I like to work too much. So that's another milestone. Is it for you? Do you want to travel? Well, here's one that I guarantee you is probably a milestone for you, and I'm going to call it residual income. Okay, this is income on autopilot. Now, I'm going to be completely frank here. I don't usually share such personal data, but I wanted you to see what's going on. And if you're wondering why those dates on the screen aren't exactly like literally right up to today, I mean that recent, Well, they're fairly recent, but the reason why I did this is because I wanted to show you what a bad month looks like in this particular business. In this particular business, that month range is one of the worst. So I wanted to show you the worst case scenario so I'm not building up your hopes radically too high. In reality, in some of the hotter months, like in December, January, February, those numbers can easily triple. But I wanted to give you realistic numbers so that we could play on an even playing field today. And what I'm about to show you is not to brag. I want to impress something upon you, as Anthony Robbins says, rather than to impress you. Okay? It's really to prove a point. In 31 days, this amounted to $28,650.17. Okay? That's how much this account paid me over that period of time. Now, what's impressive about that is in the internet marketing world, that's good money. Some people make a zero on the end of that. Some people make 2 zeros on the end of that. That's really good money in the real world. I mean, it's, let's face it. But that's not why I'm showing you this. Why I'm showing you this is because this is an account that I never touch. You will never hear Jon Benson say, you don't have to work hard. It's all on autopilot. I work 2 hours a month or something like that. That's just never going to be me. But I did want to show you something that I've been able to employ in my own life using money magnet VSLs and helping other people write their VSLs by using the tool I'm going to show you later. I can send a lot of my traffic, build my list, make these sales, and guess what? I literally spend 0 hours a month to make this money. It is completely on autopilot. Now, to be frank, my other accounts and my internet marketing products make me far more money. And that's because I actually do have to work for that. Now, granted, I work less, but I do have to work for it. I love to work. Now, I'm not, like I said, I'm never going to say you don't have to work. It's bullshit. We both know it, right? But I wanted to show you what a realistic income source was once you have many years in the business, you got good products, and especially money magnet VSLs to send to, not just my own, other people's. Okay? This is sheer residual income. I literally do not lift a finger for this money, and this money grows every month. Now, here's the crazy part. What I'm showing you is only the ClickBank portion of this. ClickBank is an online merchant. The off ClickBank sales from the same exact list that drives this double and triple this every month, because you can only send for yourself so much, but then you can start sending to like-minded products that are also using the money magnet VSL strategy that I've been teaching for years. So it's really awesome. Find the products you like and boom, you're off to the races. Okay? And by the way, I have customers making 10 times more money than this and I love it. I love it. Part of me is going, man, I wish I got a percentage of that because I helped them do it. But I actually love to see people succeed. I have no jealousy whatsoever. I want to see you make far more money than me. But I want to give you a great, realistic, bird's eye view of what I've been able to accomplish. I'm nothing extraordinary, I don't believe. I think I've got some insights and some unique perspectives that will give you a unique insight in how to get closer to these goals than you've ever gotten before. Okay, so am I worth listening to? That should probably tell you yes. Again, I started in 2004. I went on to build that 7-figure ClickBank business, selling ebooks that you saw the house that came from that. I created the video sales letter in 2009. And within 1 year, I ended up getting into copywriting. And actually, people were paying me $25,000, $50,000 to write these VSLs. And guess what? I didn't start off as a copywriter. I'm some fitness schmo. I mean, I'm just a guy writing fitness books. I'm not even an expert in that. I'm just an enthusiast in it. Very much so after that heart attack, let me tell you. But check this out. I have no desire to turn you into a world-class copywriter. You don't need to be. You don't need to be anywhere close to that to see this kind of success. What you need is a rapid mental download of the strategies that we use as top copywriters to use in your VSL and sales copy, and you need to know how to apply them to selling your particular product or service. That's it. That's all you need to focus on. You've got a business to run. You've got a service or a product that you are passionate about. You don't have time. Probably you don't want to have the expertise to become a world-class copywriter. I'm never going to ask you to do that. I'm going to do most of the heavy lifting for you if you'll let me. Okay? If you'll let me. Remember, I'm only going to ask you to write about 500 words. Some people write a little more. Some people write a little less. And I'm even going to coach you specifically how to do that. Okay? Now, what's great about what you're going to see today is that you do not need any natural writing talent to succeed. Now, if you have it, great, but you don't need it. You just need some help. You need a system that's been proven for years in every industry. I'll show that to you later. And you need some inside information. We're going to deliver all of that to you today. Okay, let's start by defining terms. WSL, I will use that term and people go, what is that? Well, that's a written sales page. And that's just a long form or short form text sales page that sells a product or an affiliate product. You know, you don't even need a product of your own, but you'll make a hell of a lot more money if you have one. And we'll talk about getting a product of your own later if you don't have one. According to Marketing Sherpa, the average successful sales page is over 6,000 words long. So put that 500 words I'm asking you to do in context of 6,000, over 10 times the amount of words, and of course, much more difficult to write. VSL, Video Sales Letter. You know, the most profitable by far is still my Sellerator style ugly VSL. Ryan Dice coined that term, ugly VSL, and it's stuck, and it's ugly for a reason. I'll show you in 2 seconds if you haven't seen one. If you've been living in an internet marketing cave, I'll show it to you in just a few seconds. The average length of a VSL is 42 minutes. It's roughly 7,500 to, actually it can be as much as 8,500 words. So even longer. Yeah. And get this, the average cost to have a pro write a VSL for you is 30 grand. I charge over 100 because I'm the top guy in the world at it. And people make millions of dollars, so that's 100 grand, it's not much. And then I get a percentage of the back end. Now, there are millionaire marketers that pay me this, you know, all the time. So that's part of what I do. But again, I'm a pro, and I'm going to tell you right now that I've got guys and girls who have never written copy for anyone but themselves, using the system I'm going to show you, that dwarf the income I just showed you a while ago. I'm not kidding. It's pretty cool. So, but just in case you haven't seen a VSL, here's what an ugly VSL looks like. Then I'm going to tell you how much money this makes.
Hi, I'm Ben, and this is my magic magnet. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you how this weird little magnet compels single women to approach me for a date without risking rejection.
Okay, that VSL, which is literally step-by-step right out of my Accelerator formula, earns anywhere from 20 to 30 million a year. A year. Okay? So again, dwarfing what I just showed you, okay, now it puts a lot of work into it, so it's definitely not residual, complete residual. But if they turn it on to just residual, it'd still be massive. Now that's just one example. I could give you hundreds, literally hundreds, thousands of VSLs out there right now, and they all still work. I just got an email from one of the top guys at ENCORE, and the guy said, listen, man, we have tried everything to beat your ugly VSL style, and 6 years later, it still just crushes everything. Crushes everything. So in case you're wondering, do VSLs still work? Yes, they work, and they work really, really well, to the tune of about 12 to 14 billion dollars a year in revenue total. And my customers alone that I know of, which is just a fraction of my customers, are making 1.3 billion annually just from Accelerator customers. So you just, yeah, does it work? Yeah, it really, really works well. So finally, one more term, money magnet. What do I mean by that? A money magnet is a VSL or a sales page or any written copy that has embedded persuasion anchors inside of it. It creates a form of psychological attachment and rapport with your prospective customer. These are specific words and phrases used to communicate in 3 distinct areas of your brain. You've got the fear-based amygdala, okay? You've got this emotionally charged limbic system, and you got the logical prefrontal cortex. Now, if anyone's a neuroscientist out there, and I got one of those terms wrong, don't laugh at me, but you get the idea of the 3 brains, right? You got kind of 3 sections of your brain. One is much more primitive. It's much more like responsive, like it's fear-based, right? One is much more emotional and joy and happiness, but also pain and suffering. And the other one is much more logical. How do I do this? Is this a rational decision? I want you to remember this, underscore this comment. People will buy from you based on emotion, but they will rationalize the purchase afterwards based on reason and logic. So if you do not sell on all of these levels, both fear, both emotion of all kinds, and reason and logic, you are going to miss the boat. Put all 3 together in the right order, and you have a money magnet. That's what it is. It literally is a magnetic pull toward you and toward your solution. And by the way, if you do have a solution, an idea that will help others while increasing your profits and easing your lifestyle, you owe it to everyone, including yourself, to use this form of ethical persuasion. There's no dishonesty, there's no exaggeration. It's all based on powerful words and phrases. We'll go over those in just a moment. That's a money magnet. So say yes in the chat if you want to have a money magnet VSL working for you. Okay, I can guarantee you that we're going to see a lot of yeses flooding in any second now. Okay, yes. Okay, awesome. Hell yes, absolutely. Of course, who wouldn't? Sign me up right now. Okay, so yes, the idea, obviously, yes is the answer. So I think we're on the right track. So let's get into those three, the VSL roadblocks and what you need to do to destroy them. These are sections of your VSL or written sales page that kill your sales unless you get it right. And again, we're going to walk through step by step exactly how to vaporize them. Number one, the first 30 seconds of your VSL. Nail this and you'll crush it online. Screw this up and it's game over. Number two, the story selling VSL formula. Story selling, using a story to sell. And the secret to this is modest rapport. I'm going to cover exactly how to do it and what that means in just a moment. And number three, absolutely nailing your sale. Nail the sale, baby. That's the close. If you don't close, it's game over. You can get the 1 and 2 right, and if you don't get number 3, it's over. This is definitely the secret sauce of online success, is knowing how to close. So those are your roadblocks. First 30 seconds, a story that actually creates rapport, and nailing the close. That's it. So let's go inside the Sellerator software right now. That's my proprietary VSL training software and video tools. And let's have a look at how each of these 3 roadblocks can be obliterated. Ready? Look inside the Sellerator proprietary software engine. Sellerator is what it sounds like, accelerated selling through video, sales letters, and persuasion. It's not just software. It is videos along with every single slide that you need, video training to tell you exactly what to do. Plus, as you'll see, it pulls in copy that I've already written from 27 of the top video sales letters in the world. And you can customize it all to your needs. Does it all for you, spits out a PowerPoint file at the end of it or a Keynote file. Boom, you're done. Over here, it will build the slides. As you can see, if I show you more, it will show all the copy. This is slides it's building, so you don't have to type. This saves literally 95% of your typing into like a PowerPoint file or a Keynote file. That's most of the time it takes to write a VSL. It's just the manual effort of it all, but you'll see what I mean. It really does save your time. I'm just gonna hide this for now because it makes it cleaner to do the tutorial. But as you can see, we're building this as we go along with click of a button ease. I'm gonna show you that in just a moment. Now, let's get to that first. Let's obliterate that first roadblock right off the bat. And that is the first 30 seconds of your video sales letter. The very first 7 seconds, actually, is the first 7, is what people say is the most important. But I'll give it the first 30 seconds to a minute, the intro. And that's what we call in Sellerator the snap suggestion. Now, there are 5 parts of an intro that I want you to look at. The pattern interrupt is where you grab the user's attention. You have to do something to scratch the CD surface of your user, of your prospect, because they're coming from who knows where. They may be watching YouTube videos, they may be distracted the moment they see your video. You need to have something really clever, boom, right off the top. I'm going to show you some that we already know work. It's already inside the Sellerator software. And then I'm going to show you how to apply it. I want to offer a promise right off the bat. Right after you interrupt, you just want to say, here's what you're going to discover. I did that today, by the way. I said, here's what you're going to learn. Boom, boom, boom. I even gave it in a guarantee. Okay, you got to create scarcity. Now, most people don't create scarcity. They do what's called false scarcity. Look for real scarcity. Look for a real reason why they should watch this video right now. Now, some people say, watch it now before I take it offline. Now, I just say, watch it now before this video goes into the history, goes into the garbage can. It's going to go history, because I change videos all the time. So it's very easy for me to say that. On several of my products, I said, you got to watch this now because I'm literally getting threats from Google to take it down, which is totally true. If that's true, that's an awesome scarcity. So that's something cool. Something that don't have time to go into today, but it's something completely different. Basically, you want to differentiate your selling process, your solution rather, from everybody else's solution. And specifically your this video from everyone else's video. You basically just want to say, you may have think that you've seen every solution online to blank, whatever that is. It could be any product, any service, any solution that you want to talk about. It could be anything. And you want to say, what you're hearing today is something utterly unique, something completely different. And all you need to do to fulfill that is have your unique slant on it. If you're parroting word for word somebody else, then you can't say that. But look for just a unique way of saying it, even if it's a trademarked way of saying something. Then, for example, in fitness, there's this term called insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is where your body doesn't uptake insulin right, and it screws up and causes you to gain weight. That's pretty much the short story. So you, rather than say insulin resistance, you can say like you can come back and say pancreatic deficiency, or you can say the fat burning hormone switch. There's lots of terms you could use to say that's why this is going to be so unique, and that makes someone go and I want them to go because I want them to say maybe this is the reason I haven't succeeded at blank. That's the secret. The intro says there's a reason you haven't succeeded at dating, at weight loss, at online marketing, at dog training, at coaching. It doesn't matter what it is. There's a reason. I'm going to give you that reason today. It's unique and it's different. And then you make them a deal. Just stick around to the end and I'm going to do X. That's all there is to that. But let's take our time that we have and look at the pattern interrupt. Inside Sellerator, as you can see, there's tutorials. Now, this is one of the longer ones because this is a conceptual tutorial. How do you build that first 7 to 13 to 30 seconds, however long it is, to get them to go, wow, I have to watch this, okay? That takes some psychological persuasion. That's not something some scripting tool can crank out for you. This is not a scripting tool, by the way, as you'll soon see. This is serious trading for serious people and for serious money, too. So you cannot screw up the first 30 seconds. This is so vital. So I include in this training video exactly how to build this. But here's what's really cool. Let's say that you're just in a hurry and you just want to use something for real. Boom, you click here and you could select any one of these different classic interrupts, triple interrupt, verbal interrupt. I got them all in here for you. You select one, you literally click a button. It's all you have to do and fill in just the first, what your first name is and what your interrupt image is, which I cover in that. It's 2 things that you have to fill in. That's probably 3 words. Hit save and new. It adds it right up here. So now you've got this interrupt right here. It's that simple. We've made it that simple. And you don't have to overthink. No, I don't know what to do now. I don't know what interrupt will work now because we already know it works. And we're always updating this copy, by the way. So that's what's really cool. So this will help you get past that first 7 seconds or first 30 seconds very quickly, okay? Especially if you follow these other steps here. That is roadblock number 1. That's how you obliterate it. We're going to go in here, and I really want you to think about this. Think about how do you position your product or service to say, this is something that you've never seen before. It's a unique solution to your problem. And sometimes all you need to do is to, quote unquote, trademark a term to do that. Trademark the term, and you're on your way to not only breaking their pattern and getting their attention, but helping you secure that vital first 30 seconds to a minute of your VSL. So roadblock number 1, that's how you destroy it. Now, let's go to roadblock number 2. If you'll remember, roadblock number 2 dealt with rapport, what I call modest rapport. And I call this process story selling. Other people call it story selling too. I didn't make that term up. I just happen to like it. Okay, story selling, selling with story. And you do that 2 ways. In step 2, you're going to see what I call the vital connection. What do I mean by vital connection? This is where we build rapport with your consumer. The prospect that's watching your video sales letter needs to feel that you are just a few steps above where they are. Maybe 4 or 5, but you're not so far above that there's no way they can reach you. It's modest rapport. Immodest rapport or arrogant rapport would look like this. Hi, I'm Jon Benson. I'm the world's best VSL copywriter, and I did this, and I drive a Lamborghini, and I have blah, 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 blah. That's immodest rapport. I see marketers fail all the time because they use this. But if I come to you and I tell you the truth, and this is the truth, I'm Jon Benson. I am accidentally one of the world's top copywriters because I never set out to be one. I just really stumbled on a system that I had to reverse engineer myself to figure out how it worked. And the system is it's almost foolproof. It's not totally foolproof because nothing is, but it is almost foolproof. And I kind of got famous by doing this. And that's true. And over the years, I got pretty good at writing copy. That's true. Everything I just told you is true. So that's a modest introduction. But here's what's cool. You don't just want to say that. You want to go into the story. And this is what I call story selling. I call this the nightmare story in Sellerator. It doesn't have to be a nightmare, but I like nightmare stories because we're going into that whole, amygdala, limbic system. We're tapping into those emotions, and fear and scariness. Scariness is one of the best ways to do that. Okay. I'm just going to give you the steps on how to do this real quickly. So inside Sellerator, this would make it a lot easier for you if you just watch the videos. And of course, you had a membership. You can literally just select the text and click it here and just modify it. Go through each part of this, select the text, modify it. When you do, it's an algorithm and it changes things. So it's really kind of cool. But I'm going to give you the brief overview of this so that you can apply this information. An overview of the nightmare story is just saying, I'm going to tell you a story about how I or a customer of yours, it could be a customer too, went from X to Y. And the turning point in my life that caused me to get on this complete passion, this complete bandwagon of this complete soapbox of helping you achieve X, whatever X is. What made you go from the guy or girl that you are right now to the guy or girl that's saying, I've got a video and a product and I am passionate about this and I want to help you succeed? There's a way that something happened to you. And more than likely, it happened to you. More than likely, you hit a low spot in your life. And people really want to understand that. But if it's not you and you don't feel comfortable with that, you can always tell a customer's low spot. And so I want to tell you about Sally. She may be a lot like you. She went through this and now she's here using the same stuff I'm going to share with you today. Notice how I keep saying using the same stuff I'm going to share with you today, because again, the video is not just about selling. It's about educating. It's about building rapport. So the introduction is just like an introduction to a story, like not a bad one, like it was a dark and stormy night, but you could literally say an introduction. You could say, I remember the day. It was July 2nd, 2012. And I remember that it was raining really hard because our car was swerving all over the place. I was with my best friend, Steve. And I was, and then you just tell the story from there. Now, I'm going to give you an example using, all this copy would be provided for you in multiple iterations, but I'll give you an example of a real nightmare story of mine back when I was obese, back when I went through my fitness transformation. The true story, it wasn't I don't remember the date, but it was actually in 1997 or something like that. I have to look backward at the date, but I was with my friend Steve. We were in his beat up old red Mustang. And it was raining really hard. I remember that because the car literally was sliding all over the road. And it was starting to sleet because it was that time. We were in Texas. It was getting into October, November, getting into that cold weather area. And I had been working one of my typical 16-hour days. It was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Driving home, sharing an apartment with my buddy. And I had to have my sugar fix. And the sugar fix was something I was addicted to sugar. So here's the bad part. The bad part creates a turn in the story. You say, again, this is someone, I'm talking to somebody related to weight loss. So you could change this to relate to whatever your particular audience might be. I'm just giving you this as an example. The bad part is where you set up the situation. What is the situation that created the turn of events that leads to the really bad part, where you really hit rock bottom? The bad part in my story is pretty funny, actually. So we pull into this convenience store and I realized that I left my wallet at the office and I was too tired and too lazy and it was too far away to go back and get it. So I made a decision right there to do something I never have done before. I was going to steal donuts because I had to have my sugar fix. Now there's more to the story than this. It's actually really cool. If you ever want to watch this story, I'll send it to you. But here's the really bad part. So I go in there and I steal the donuts and I stuck them in my jacket. I had 5 packages of donuts. I stuck them in my jacket. And the guy, I walked right up to the desk. I looked him right in the eyes. I was pretending like I was looking for a stick of gum. And he couldn't tell that I had this stuck in my jacket because my belly had grown so big. It just looked like the same guy that walked in the door. I walk out the door and there are 2 prostitutes that looked like they were addicted to drugs shivering in the cold. And I looked at them, and the very first thing I thought was, wow, my life could be worse. I could be them. And then it hit me. And this was my Declaration of Independence. Then it hit me. My life is that bad. I am whoring myself out to sugar. And I'm addicted, just like they are. There's no difference. There's no difference when it comes down to the core value of who I am. I have betrayed myself. I am betraying myself daily with a knife and a fork. I am digging my own grave. And right there, I decided to declare independence from that lifestyle. I decided to draw the line in the sand and say, I'm going to figure out a solution to my sugar addiction and weight loss problems, or I'm going to die trying. And the final ends with a moral journey. And that journey, from where I was there to where I am now, led me to create this video for you. This journey will inspire you to take the same steps. If I can do it, you can do it. Now, that's a very short overview of the story formula that I'm talking about. It's story selling. So you are literally selling your ideas inside that story, but you're not doing it in a way that's preachy. You're doing it in a way that's really building a lot of rapport. And again, you don't have to write any of the stuff for yourself. I've got it all in here. All you need to do is write your specifics. This is the most amount of writing that you'll ever have to do. And most people can do it in under 100 words because so much of it is already written for you inside Sellerator. Now, the third and final roadblock is we don't have time to go into the problem solution. This is very important. You got to build the problem. In fact, the problem needs to be bigger than they think it is. The key to building your problem inside your VSL is not just to say, hey, I know that you want to lose weight to look good and feel better and go to the beach and all that stuff. That's your problem. No, that's what they think the problem is. Let's take internet marketing. You think that your problem is, I just want to make more money online so I can be a little bit more comfortable with my family. Yeah, I'm not making enough money online. I don't have enough traffic. This is what you believe your problem is. But your problem is much bigger than you believe it is. Because this isn't just about you making more money online. This is about your legacy as a human being. This is about a decision that you have told multiple people about who are looking at you and going, is he or she going to do this? Are you going to pull this off? Are you going to be able to pull this off? I don't think so. How many naysayers do you have? Be honest. When I first started, I had dozens. You know, the uncle, the grandfather, even sometimes the parent, the siblings, they want to see you succeed, but some of them want to see you fail. But you have a legacy to leave behind in this world, and you don't have long time to do it. You want to succeed for bigger reasons than paying the bills. You want to succeed because you want to leave your footprints behind for your children, your grandchildren, your family, your friends to follow and say, hey, this guy did something with his life. That's what I'm talking about, man. If that relates to you, say yes. That should fire you up, man. That should really fire you up. That's the bigger problem, and that's how I teach you to communicate inside this section. Then you go to the bigger solution. No matter how big the problem is, your solution is bigger, and there are 3 specific ways to deliver your solution. They're in tips so that people get a lot out of it. You have to follow those ways because these ways build from the primitive brain up to the advanced brain. Isn't that cool? This is what anchors the money magnet, the bigger solution. This anchors the money magnet. But now we need to get to the grand offer. This is the third roadblock. You gotta nail your close. That's why I've separated this into 6 sections. And as you can see, you click on one section and there's a lot of subsections. It's okay. This is pretty much click and go. You can pretty much just click and go in here, writing less than 100 words for your close. Click and go. Sometimes people want to write a little bit more, but that's about it. Click and go. And I teach you literally step by step on every single one of these through videos. You click the video. It's only a 1 minute, 27-second video. You can watch how to do it. You can choose your examples. Boom, you fill them in. It's done. Okay? This should be by the textbook. But this particular order of things is the order that you need to follow. You need to first of all start off with your product, obviously, or your service. What is it that you're selling? The price. How much is it? But here's the formula that I want you to follow. I want you to follow this formula. So the reason why we want you to follow this formula is because it works. Okay? It works really, really well. We've tested this thousands of times. You need to have a call to action. But you need to have a call to action that includes inclusion. Inclusion is the principle of making your customer, your prospective customer in this case, feel like they're already a part of a successful movement, a successful group of people. You are inviting them not to buy a product. You're inviting them to become a member of a society, of a club, of a group that is dedicated to the same ideals that they're dedicated to. And when you use the copy that's already in here and you use that copy, it's already psychologically embedded. You're embedding their core values that they already hold dear throughout your entire selling process. So it makes the close infinitely easier when they already agree with the core values behind it. That's what's so powerful. When you tack on inclusion, boom, amazing things happen. Then we go to reinforcement, pain and pleasure, reminding your user, this is what's going to happen if you don't do it. Reminding them of their pain. This is what's going to happen when you do it. Future pacing them. Don't worry about that term because all the copy is already provided inside Sellerator. Future pacing them to show here's what's going to happen. Here's what life is going to look like. You say, and then you future pace, which is an NLP term, to show them what life is going to look like. Remind them, and I'm big on this, guys. This is not all your fault. The reason that you're not successful right now online as you want to be. You may be successful, but not as much as you want to be. You wouldn't be listening to me probably. A lot of it isn't your fault. You didn't have a tool like this at your disposal. You didn't have a coach like me coaching you through this process, step by step. You didn't know a lot of things you're about to discover. You certainly didn't have the 5 tools I'm about to show you. Well, this is one of them, the other 4 tools. But now it's your responsibility. So it's gone from not being your fault to absolutely being your responsibility. You now must take action because you have the solution right in front of you. And then we go into reinforcement. Actions, results, pretty simple. Your future pace their actions. You tell them exactly what to do next. 3 reasons to act now. There's other things in there. And then what I call Samurai Q&A. I wish I had time to go into that, but it's where 80% of your sales can come from if you do it right. So those are the 3 roadblocks. Those are the 3 roadblocks. I really hope that this helps you get the idea of what you need to do to help obliterate these roadblocks. Get these sections down in your sales letter, your video sales letter, even your emails. These 3 sections work in emails as well. You need to get this down. Now, let's get back to the training and we'll go over a few more things before I start taking your questions. Okay, I had to take a sip of water here. That was pretty intense, man. I hope that you learned a lot about those 3 vital components of VSL success. However, that was just a glimmer, just a little bit of a preview of what Sellerator can do for you. And of course, the only way to get this to work for yourself is to become a member of Sellerator. I'm going to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Let that system go to work for you. It's a much smarter way of trying to do it on your own. But with that in mind, let's cover the 5 specific tools that you're going to need to help you go from where you are now to where you really want to be. And that's profitable online with a growing fan base of customers with more residual income from products and services that you own or sell and the freedom to enjoy it all. Does that sound good? Say yes if that sounds good in the chat. Is that what you want? Okay, yes, Todd. Sally, absolutely. Dave, 2 Daves in a row. Wow. Okay, hell yes. And I can't say the other one, but it's an F yeah, baby. Okay, yeah, a lot of people saying yes. This is what you want. Of course, this is what you want. Well, guess what? Money Magnet Sales Tool number 1 is what you just saw, the world's premier VSL system. So you're saying to yourself right now, John, I can't write a Money Magnet VSL. I just saw you go through some cool training. I got a lot out of it. That's cool. But I can't put the whole thing together. You're right. You're absolutely correct. You probably can't. And that's not a knock on you. You're not a copywriter. Okay? Copywriters have a hard time with this. So you're absolutely correct. You should be running your business. You should be diving into your areas of expertise. This should not be a concern for you. Okay? This should only be a concern for you if you don't have it, but you should not be concerned about the fact that you can't do it because Sellerator can. That's its function. This is my brain dumped into proprietary software and training videos and coaching. It's not just some plug in the blanks, spit it out scripting formula. Those things never work. This is the real deal that's earning 1.2 to 1.3 billion a year for clients that I just know about personally. If I was to take a wild guess, I would say at least 5 billion a year from people that I don't know, but I can't say that because I don't know that for sure. But that's the kind of success that Sellerator has. And I'm going to guess that you probably don't want to or can't afford that six-figure price that I charge for creating one of these money magnet VSLs. However, I'm going to rent you my proven sales copy. Think of it that way. I'm going to give you over 1 million iterations and combinations that work simply by clicking your mouse. And I'll personally coach you on how to create those 500 or so words that you're going to need to personalize your product, service, and niche. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that that happens for you as well. And get this, I'll even connect you to a group of online marketers to help you 24/7 to ensure you do it, that you follow through. Say yes if this is interesting to you. Say yes if this is something that you would be interested in going into right now. Not tomorrow, but today. Say yes. Again, tons of yeses as I sip my water. Okay, lots of excitement going on here. Okay, so don't have time to read all the yeses because we got so many people on this call, but trust me, almost everyone's saying yes. So what is the deal? You've seen Sellerator, you just saw it, the machine that spits out words that get cash, as people call it. I hope that you enjoyed that sneak peek in the tutorial that I did, but you just saw a fraction. And about now, you've got to be asking yourself, what about the price? Because Sellerator's, it's the Ferrari, it's the Lamborghini, as I call it, of the internet marketing world. And I've thrown around some pretty big numbers here. 100 grand that I charge, 30 grand that pros charge. You're probably thinking that I'm going to ask you for a bunch of money, 5, 10, 20, 30 grand, whatever. Well, relax. What if I told you it was free? Free. From the second time that you use it. Now that's a pattern interrupt. Pretty good one too. But this is the truth. And this is my guarantee, as you'll soon see. This does not cost you money, it makes you money from the very second time you use it. Listen, if you're just starting out, it's impossible to know what you don't know. And even if you've written a decent VSL before or sales page before, you know how difficult it is. You know that getting an absolutely killer money magnet VSL is literally worth its weight in what you see on the screen, gold. The problem is, up until now, it's been hit and miss, even for the pros. There hasn't been a way to capture what guys like me do for a living, to put our brain to work for you, giving you a near superhuman ability to generate your own sales copy within a matter of days or weeks if you take your time. That's just as good or not better than most of the pros, without having to know how to write it and do it all at a fraction of what we charge the professional marketers of the world. But I have to give you some fair warning. Words will make you or break you. It's words that get people to buy, nothing else. And a sale is a very delicate thing. There are a whole lot of more ways to screw it up than there are to get it right. And that's where Sellerator really comes in. It literally saves you a crazy amount of time because it gives you the only time and industry tested blueprint to get your VSL right and get it right out of the gate. Sure, you will make edits, you will make improvements, but wouldn't it be better to be starting with something closer to pure gold that you can shine into perfection than starting with a blank screen or a blank PowerPoint or Keynote file? Of course it would. So listen, you need to know this. Let's talk about some money. A sales letter is at least a $30,000 to $50,000 proposition. You're probably saying, John, you've already told me that. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking. Not talking about how much it would cost you to hire a pro. This is the amount of money that you're going to lose, absolutely, if you don't have one. Okay? We've proven that VSLs work in any industry, for any product or service that's advertised online. If you sell a product or service online, no matter what it is, a VSL can work for you. Got 117 industries and counting. Again, this is a $12 billion a year industry, VSLs. So yeah, you not having one, it depends on your product or service, but 30 to 50 grand that costing you, that's a minimum. It depends on how big you want to go. It could be costing you millions not to have a cash cow, money-making, money magnet VSL working for you. So let me tell you this. Nothing happens in your business until productive sales copy gets written. And odds are simply overwhelming that if you try this on your own, you're gonna mess it up. So 30 to 50 grand in one use, that's a hell of an ROI, right? I mean, how many trips across town would it take you to pay for the last car that you bought, even if you wrote them all off as a business expense? Think of it that way. So I want you to just momentarily set aside all the amazing bonuses and incentives that I'm about to tell you. I'm about to share with you. Just Sellerator alone, from what you've seen so far, will pay for itself multiple times over. And I don't care if you've never written a VSL in your life. I don't care if you can't write a grocery list. You could be a world-class copywriter. It doesn't make a bit of difference. Now, here are your options. You can do nothing and lose money. And I've already showed you the money that you could lose. That's probably not a wise decision. Option number 2 is to pay me $100,000. If you want to do that, yeah, ping me on the chat. I'll put you on the calendar. Probably not an option for most people. It'd be a long time to get to, but hey, that is an option. Another one is that you could pay a top copywriter anywhere from 25 to 50 grand. They'll take a nice percentage of your profits for life too. And you probably don't want to do that because that's pretty damn expensive. You could pay a lousy copywriter. And I mean lousy, 5 to 10 grand. I saw a guy once paying 5 grand to a guy on what was Fiverr, I believe. It was like he got this VSL back that was like 9 slides long. It was like just completely horrible, right? So, you get what you pay for. That's not a solution. Do I even have to ask you if that's a solution? No, that's not a solution. So here's a question for you. Is your business worth more than a $10,000 failure or a $5,000 failure? God, I hope so. If it isn't, you're in the wrong business. Here's another question. How would you like to get the same exact value as paying me over $100,000, but get it for a fraction of that cost? Say yes in the chat if that appeals to you now. Please say yes if you get this. If you get the fact that your business needs a video sales letter now. Not next month, not next year, now. And the faster that you get one, the more money that you stand a chance of making with the better tools that you have. It's that simple. Even if you have a sales page right now, you need a video sales letter. If you have a VSL that's not converting, you need a better one. Most people need more than one. That's true. And Accelerator can help you crank out a lot of them. So say yes if you get this right now. Okay, there's so many yeses. I can't read them all off, but let me just do this. Let me recap what comes with what I'm going to offer you today. The Sellerator VSL generator. This is the machine that you can create your VSLs with clicks of your mouse. You saw a little bit of it using only about 500 words of your own. Over 1 million iterations and variations and counting. That would retail normally for $49.97. When the generator first came out, $49.97. Accelerator's persuasion formula videos. This is the slide-by-slide video tutorials that you saw. Just the glimpses of, you didn't see any of the videos, but you saw where they are. Every single slide has them. And they help you customize your VSL, all while downloading the most powerful copywriting tips and tactics to you near instantly. So you can get this, grab it, and run with it, and apply it strictly. You can apply it strictly to your VSL. You can apply it to a sales page, apply it to emails, apply it to Facebook. It doesn't matter. You can apply it everywhere. And it's ethical persuasion. Ethical persuasion. The best form, the most powerful form. When Sellerator first came out, it used to be called 3X VSL. And it was sold for $19.97, just these videos. It was just videos along with one template from a PowerPoint file. That was it. That was all there was. $19.97 for just that. When we added the software, we boosted the price. The next up is Sellerator's VSL Production Center. This is the blueprint for producing and putting your VSL online. You can do it in 7 days or less. You can hire this out, by the way, on Fiverr for a couple $100 if you want to. But we sell this course for $4.97. It includes how to compress it, how to record it using free or inexpensive tools. So it's not expensive to record this stuff at all. And what to do if you don't want to use your own voice. Yeah, there's people doing this on Fiverr for $50 to $200 to record a VSL. It's easy. So I cover all of this in this course material. That's $497. And this is the biggie. This is where it gets borderline ridiculous. I haven't done live coaching for 5 years. I normally charge $1,500 per group call. It could be 200 people on the call or 10. That means folks were paying me $9,000 for 6 calls to get a call with me in a group. I charge $5,000 to coach individually. Now, I get these rates all day long because, to be frank, I make people hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what I do, and I'm very proud of that. But like I said, I got an itch to do something special in 2016. I offered a by the numbers, done with you, 6-week group coaching session. But I watched people completely freak out. I watched people succeed in ways I have just never seen before. Amazing, okay? They were able to immediately put Sellerator to work for them without the whole buy it and forget it mindset that plagues so much of your ongoing success. You've bought products and let it sit there, right? Well, this solves that problem. Plus, what I introduced in the first week was the 5-step pre-VSL checklist. After doing hundreds of VSLs, and this training was not in Sellerator, by the way, I found 5 specific tricks that boosted conversions by up to 300% right out of the gate. If you'll do them. It'll take you a few days to get them done, but if you'll do them, you'll know your customer better than he or she knows him or herself. You will know exactly how much to charge for your product. You will know exactly what to call it. You'll know exactly the words to use to write it. It will make it so much easier for you. I mean, your VSL as well. It's not just your product, it's your VSL. You'll know exactly what to say. So for those 500 words, they're practically giving them to you. And it's such a cool thing. That's week 1 of those 6 weeks. Okay? It's $9,000 to join. It's optional. You don't have to do this here. But I am offering that. So this is a no BS value of $9,000 to get involved with this. So it's one of the most transformative 6 weeks that you can do. So that, if you got it all, that would bring your total retail value to $16,491. Okay? Now, there's no way I'm going to ask for that. And there's a reason why I'll share with you in a minute. I believe that I can make you more money than $16,491. And I believe, depending on your product or service, I can do that within the first few months of having a Sellerator VSL working for you. So I've got something in mind for you, and it deals with a goal that I have. So I want you to forget about paying me $100,000 and forget about the $16,491 retail, and certainly forget about paying a lousy copywriter $10,000. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. You can get my words, 1 million iterations and variations, words proven to generate billions online already, and generate as many VSLs as you want to sell front-end products, back-end funnels, opt-in pages, lead capture pages. You can sell high-end services, B2B, everything for just $29.97. That's the discount off $74.91. That was before the coaching. And as an optional VIP thing, I'll give you the private 6-week Accelerator Done For You coaching program for $9,000. Okay, it's cost $9,000. So that's just the way it is. You don't have to do it, but this is that lucrative. Okay, this is 6 weeks with me doing it with you. I'm literally holding your hand through the process. Okay, I'm making sure that you nail everything even before you begin. So you can see why this whole thing is worth what it's worth. You can see why the coaching is worth $9,000. You can see why everything's worth what it's worth, but that's optional. So now the discounted price is $11,997. And you know what? That's borderline criminal. Robin Robbins is one of the top marketers in the world, and she said, if you're not charging $10,000 for Sellerator alone, you're an effing idiot. That was her words to me. Okay? I don't believe I'm an effing idiot. I kind of think I'm a nice guy. But that's Sellerator alone. Okay? That's not the coaching. So, however, I'm not satisfied with that either. I want to do you one better today, and here's why. I have a mission, and it's a mission I committed to in 2016. And the mission is going to sound kind of crazy. I want to make 1 million marketers at least $1 million in their career. Now, the mission's become kind of a movement. It really has. It's a movement inside my organization. Frankly, it's audacious. It's kind of arrogant. I honestly have a hard time believing I can achieve it. Yeah, I'm going to have to do extremely massive things to get those kinds of numbers. But this is what I'm committed to. And if you don't set your goals high, you'll always succeed low. So I'm setting them really high. So because of that goal, I'm going to do something I've never done before, ever. I'm going to slash this price so much it's going to look like confetti when we're done. So stick around and let's see if you can become one of those 1 million folks that I want to help make money magnet marketers. I want to help you make $1 million. Maybe you can become one of them. So first of all, I want to tell you about some rave reviews for the training. And these are guys just like you, just started off, did a $110,000 launch right out of the gate. So, talk about investment coming back to you, right? Kurt Malley, one of the top Facebook guys, $300,000 this year, part-time and counting, since getting this program. It's pretty amazing, right? Giancarlo Barza, $40K in the first week, just by retooling the first part of his VSL, using the very first section of my Accelerator system. Okay, so getting $29.97 for Sellerator and 6 training sessions for $9,000, it's kind of an insane offer. It really is. It's kind of better than free because I really believe this is going to make you more money than you pay for it right out of the gate the very first time that you use it. And I'm going to give you the guarantee for that in just a minute. because I have the track record to prove it, thousands of success stories to prove it. So now, if that was all that I was giving you today, that would be an absolutely killer value. However, I want to take this already monstrous system one step over the top by giving you 4 additional, what I call success insurance tools, tools that you need to succeed online. These are money magnet tools that act like insurance because they all but ensure that you have everything that you're going to need at your fingertips to go from where you're sitting right now to where you dream of being tomorrow. Yes, you need a VSL. That's project number 1, but you need 4 other things. And I'm going to give you the tools to get them. Make no mistake, I've sold these tools for thousands of dollars combined, and I've sold them for years, but I want to give them all to you today. So here's what I've got. Money magnet sales tool number 2 is what I call instant connections. Imagine having the eyes and ears of over 1,000 like-minded marketers like you, totally willing to help you succeed, to give you critical feedback, to save you months of wasted effort, and even potentially promote your VSL to help you sell your product and service and expand your list of hungry buyers. Say yes in the chat if that sounds appealing to you. Because I don't know about you, but when I was just getting started, or even when I was at an intermediate marketer, being in a group like this, man, that is worth its weight in gold. And that's why I call this free money magnet sales tool. It is a money magnet. It's lifetime membership into the Copy Posse. It's my VIP closed door marketing community. If I sold it, it'd be $997 a year. And let me tell you, I've spent years building this exclusive and private group. So I can flat out tell you, these are marketers that understand you, who appreciate what you're doing, who are out there with you. They're doing battle in the mean marketing streets, and they're ready to share their knowledge, intel, and experience with you in a spirit of camaraderie and cooperation to help you overcome for unforeseen challenges as they arise, to capitalize on any emerging opportunity, what's hot in the market right now. Now, you can ask a question and you'll get an answer often within minutes, definitely within hours, and I'm in there too. Now remember, I'm $5,000 an hour. I'm in the Copy Posse just about every day. And you also got some badass pros in there answering questions. But you got a lot of people that aren't copywriters. They're saying, here's what I did that worked. Here's what I did that didn't. Imagine getting that kind of feedback. Hey, do you want to partner up on something? People have made literally millions of dollars on the partnerships that they've established inside the Copy Posse. And you're in for free. No monthly fees whatsoever, as long as you're a member in good standing. So now we have a retail value of $12,994 because you've got the Sellerator, unlimited money-making VSLs, $29.97. Our interactive 6 weeks of group coaching calls with me, it's $9,000. It is optional, but I highly suggest you take it. Lifetime membership into VSL Copy Posse, $9.97. The value is $12,994. Ben Pottinger from Melbourne, Australia, 1,399% ROI back, and look how long it took him. It took him 2 weeks, very part-time, another 2 days to create another week to create the campaign, and 2 days to get his ROI back. But his ROI didn't just come back 100% or 200%, 1,399%. Pretty darn good. Money magnet sales tool number 3, products and lead magnets. You're going to need both. What if I told you I would coach you day by day and help you create your first or next digital ebook product or lead magnet, all the way from concept to cash? You'll keep 100% of your profits to cold traffic. You can have hundreds of affiliates sell your product if you want, using the same clickbank service that I use, or you can use software projects. You can use a lot of different networks online, so you can immediately get affiliates to help sell your product, and they're going to want to sell it because you'll have a money magnet VSL working for you. Believe you me, there are affiliates that do nothing but sniff out hot offers, and they know these VSLs when they see them. They know them. So you're going to be way up on the tree. And you don't need to be an expert to write an ebook. You just need to be an enthusiast. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it inside my 28-day product creation formula. Another $9.97 value, you're going to get it for free when you order today. I'm going to walk you step by step, day by day, through the creation of your first or next information product that you can sell, you can use as a bonus, you can use as a front-end lead generator, you can use it as a tripwire, you can use it for any of that. Even if you sell a service, you should productize your service, always. Now, realize this, the uninformed will spend months, sometimes years, trying to put a product together. You can do it in 28 days flat. I know, this is the formula that I use. And I'm talking about a really killer product that you can use in any niche. You can use for all the ways I just gave you, you can use it. And I'm going to guarantee that you can do it in 28 days. Most people can do it faster. 7 days. A lot of people can do it in 7 days if you have even a little bit of a head start. Okay? So I'm going to take you by the hand, lead you every step throughout the entire process. And this is the same tool that I use to create 9 fitness info products, my last 3 IM products, which incidentally have generated over $7 million in sales. So I think it's worth every bit of that $9.97, don't you? Okay, so now we've got the Sellerator, Accelerator VIP package at $29.97, coaching calls at $9,000, lifetime membership into the Copy Posse at $9.97, and the 28-day product creation formula at $9.97. The retail is $13,991. Not done yet. Gotta talk about Josh, because Josh was making $50 a week, $50 a week or a day rather, sleeping on somebody's couch, living in Santa Monica, California. Josh and I've been friends for years. He took the system home on a Friday, came back on a Monday with the world famous Goldfish VSL for his product, the Dow Badass, which became the #1 product on ClickBank, earning, I believe, in the 10 to 15 million a year revenue range or higher. Okay. So following literally word for word, step by step. Josh has got a 15-minute video testimonial on our site, so if you're interested. But yeah, literally, this is how easy it was. So he went from nothing to that. It's such a great rags to riches success story, and it's really great for me because he's a great friend of mine. But that brings us to money magnet sales tool number 4, free and cheap traffic sources. Hey, you know what? Truth be told, I don't worry about traffic because I have a killer money magnet VSL. I got lots of them. But it's always good to have it in your back pocket. So what if I could help you erase the worry and know for certain that your traffic woes are history? History. Would you rest easier if you knew that about both free and cost-effective traffic sources that are open for you to use and profit from? Well, guess what? I'm going to give away the next money magnet sales tool, unlimited traffic. I've sold this for years for $997, and I'm going to give it to you for free today. Listen, I let other people spend millions on traffic for me, but it's always good to have this in your back pocket, like I said. So here's what I did. I rounded up the top 10 guys in the traffic world, guys who are experts at free traffic, cheap traffic, and just normal low paid traffic. Guys who buy a lot of traffic for me, to be honest with you. I suck at traffic. I had to learn it from these guys. I made them so much freaking money over the years that all 10 of them came on this 10 video series. Each video is about an hour, sharing their screen, sharing their secrets, sharing their steps, literally unfiltered, all for free. It's over the course of 10 hours of video. You're going to learn more about traffic secrets than you ever will anywhere else, guaranteed. And one of these videos actually shows you a trick that will give you free traffic that's already hot for whatever offer that you have, and how to get traffic even if you don't have a product or VSL yet. Now, that's not an option I choose, but that's kind of crazy. You don't even need either one for one of these tricks. So it just doesn't get any better than this. You'll be set for life with unlimited traffic. So look at where we're at right now. You've got the Sellerator itself, this VIP package at $29.97, the coaching calls at $9,000, lifetime membership into Copy Posse at $9.97, 28-day product creation formula $9.97, unlimited traffic $9.97, retail value $14,988. $988. So, remember I promised I would slash this price into confetti for sticking around? Well, I'm going to do more than that. I'm going to reveal an absolutely killer traffic tip toward the very end of the workshop. So you're going to want to stick around for that. It's one of the coolest ways you'll ever see to get traffic immediately or almost immediately to your website. Now, here's time to blow your mind. Are you ready? Forget about that $14,988. Here's what I want you to look at. Today, in order to help me meet that audacious goal of 1 million marketers making $1 million, I'm going to give it all to you today for a single payment of $19.97, and I'm going to forget about that $9,000 fee. If you order on the webinar, I'm going to put you inside the coaching program with me free. Absolutely free. That means that you get the entire package. The entire package. Not for $49.97. You don't have to pay $19.97 for the persuasion formula. You don't have to pay $4.97 for the production center. You don't have to pay $9,000 to coach with me. You get all of this plus the bonuses you just saw. Instant access to connections inside the Copy Posse, the ideal product and lead magnet tool inside the 28-day product creation formula, unlimited traffic, so you never have to concern yourself with getting fresh, new, hungry buyers again, and you get it all for one payment of $19.97. Now, this is about an inch away from me reaching through this computer screen and doing it all for you. Kind of wish I could do that, but I can't. But this is the next best thing. I'm that committed to your success. And let me remind you, this is not a monthly payment. This is not a yearly payment. I'm giving you lifetime access to ride as many money magnet VSLs as you will ever need for just $19.97. It's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what it would cost to have a lousy copywriter do that for you, let alone me, okay? Plus, you get the private interactive group coaching calls with me and my team for free. It's a $9,000 value for free, but only if you order on this webinar. If you wait and try to order after we close down, the price goes right back to our normal retail price of $29.97. That's our off the website price plus $9,000 to join this coaching club. And listen, we close this offer down in just hours. And coaching begins the following Tuesday after that. It's literally right around the corner, so you simply cannot afford to miss this. In fact, there are so many people on this call right now, the coaching bonus may not even be available anymore, at least not for much longer. So please do click that order button now and secure your spot while you still can. So let me put this in perspective. You save $12,491 today. Bam. That's how much you're going to save. You could never get better than this, except perhaps for one thing. Now I offer a 12-pay plan. It's an installment plan for 12 payments of $197 a month for 12 months. Now, with that plan, you will not get the interactive coaching calls with me worth $9,000. And I'm telling you, this coaching will take your trajectory and skyrocket you to success. Sorry, the interactive coaching is for full pay customers only. And honestly, less than $2,000 to all but guarantee your chances of getting a money magnet VSL in as little as a week? Are you crazy, right? No, I hope you're not crazy. You'd be crazy to pass this up. Do whatever it takes to make this happen because it's happening right now and it's not going to happen again. So here's what you need to do. You need to click the order now button that you see on your screen. If you're on a mobile device, it may be below the video. Click it right now. That will take you to our 256-bit secure order form, but you need to go now to lock in your discount to make sure you get that free ticket to your online coaching classes with me. Just keep this in mind. There's well over 1,500 people registered for this workshop. So we will probably sell out the seats for the coaching either in this workshop or the next one. I mean, it's going to happen very soon. So you must order now to make sure that you get in, because once we start, it goes immediately back to $29.97 and I officially retire. This is your last chance to get me to help you succeed online and hold your hand, literally hold your hand, take you done with you, man. It doesn't get better than this. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, hey, is this guaranteed? Is this guaranteed? Sort of. Actually, it's better than a guarantee. I'll tell you what I mean. It's a unique guaranteed success guarantee that's conditional. So let me explain what I mean by this. You're about to become a member of an internet marketing inner circle. We're talking about thousands of active members. Just in the Copy Posse alone could help you just launch your business to the stratosphere. I mean, if I just gave you that, it'd be worth that $2,000 easily. But all the other stuff? Are you kidding me? There's no way I'm going to give away my life's work without putting a condition on that. I'm at the point in my life to where I've had a lot of success and I've decided to only work with serious, dedicated individuals. It doesn't matter if you're a startup. It doesn't matter if you're a product or a service or a B2B or a B2C. It doesn't matter as long as you are serious and you are dedicated. If you're looking to kick the tires on a Lamborghini, what do you think the dealer is going to say to you? The same thing I would: get out, not interested. This is the Lamborghini of the internet marketing world. It's been proven to be a rock solid investment. Thousands of marketers since 2011. I don't welcome tire kickers. It's that simple. Now, I do guarantee Sellerator, and I'm going to explain that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about how most people do business online. They offer unconditional guarantees because they want more customers. It's that simple. But here's the scary thing that you might not know. I've had multiple business owners and CFOs tell me that their goal is 50% refunds. They want to sell so hard and make so many insane promises that they can't fulfill that they get 50% of their people refunding, and they don't care because they build a big list and their front end looks so high they can brag about their gross revenue numbers. Personally, I care, and I've cared since day one. Even when I did offer an unconditional guarantee, even when I did, it was the lowest in the industry for a product of my price at 9%. The industry standard at that price is over 20. But get this. We did an analysis of this in 2016 and found that 8.6% of those refunds were folks who never even created a slide, let alone a VSL. So they just kicked the tires and did nothing. Well, sorry, this is for serious folks only. It's an investment. It's one I'm literally meeting you halfway with. I'm literally meeting you halfway. One that gives you access to tons of potential marketing partners. One that delivers the only proven VSL formula that's done over $1 billion in revenue every year. So like I said, I don't give away my life's work to let it sit around and collect dust. But if you'll meet me halfway, my team and I will go above and beyond to help you succeed. So here's the deal. Don't become a customer if you're going to kick the tires. But if you want to get into the club today, if you want to apply yourself for the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe however long it takes, and if you get your VSL live using the Sellerator formula, and if by a fraction of a chance that it does not earn you back more than you invested in 30 days, I'll do one better than just refund your money. I'll have my copywriting pros look at your VSL and tweak it for you. We charge $1,500 an hour to do that, and this would be hours of work. But we'll do it for you for free if your VSL doesn't earn you back more than you invested. It's that simple. And if after that, it doesn't give you back more than you invested, I'll not only refund your money, all of it, I'll give you another $1,500 in one-on-one marketing consulting with my team for free, because we will help you find what will work. Now, I need to be honest with you, we've never had to use this guarantee ever. That's because people actually follow through, and guess what? It works. But it's there if you need it. Now I have one more bonus for you that will really push this completely over the cliff. And that is, I am going to give you 30 days of my small group Q&A coaching sessions. This is me talking to you in a small group twice a month. There are 2 sessions, one every 2 weeks, where you can bring me whatever specific question you have. So you'll get the coaching, which covers specific things like how to do this section, how to do that section, and then you're going to get the bonus Q&A where you can ask any question related to marketing, email, copywriting, funnels, you name it. So I'll have you completely covered. These Q&A sessions are done live with me, and they are done, like I said, once every 2 weeks. It's normally $97 a month to join this coaching club. But I'm going to give you 30 days for free. And don't worry, you won't be rebilled. There's no trickery, nothing up my sleeves. It's just 30 days of a gift. And if you want to continue, that's great. You can. If you don't want to continue, no problem. So you will never be billed for this. I want to give it to you as a gift so that you have absolutely every single base covered and you're really ready to go. This is the order form you're going to see. First name, last name, email, phone, password. Pretty simple contact information. Enter your billing details here. This confirms all the bonuses that you're going to receive, including the super bonus. So you don't ever have to worry about the bonuses you're going to get. Here's our support information. Your payment information is right here. Select the one payment of $19.97. Come on, you can do this. This is a no-brainer investment. That way you'll get in the coaching with me. That way you'll get all the bonuses. But if you absolutely can't do that, then choose the 12 payments of $197. Just realize that's an installment plan. Now, bottom line, if you want to spend a lot of time looking through all those testimonials that I told you about, you can come down here and just do this until the cows come home. And you'll see real testimonials from real people charting real graphs. I could just keep going. I can't count how many there are, but that's how many people rave and brag and tell me about how much money that they've made through this exact system. And don't forget, I got a special bonus. I'm going to give you the email formula free today. But when this is over, it's over. Order this today, get this for free. So in case you're wondering, what do I do about email? Well, guess what? I've got the email formula, including my best-selling book, Open Click Buy. You can get it for free if you order from the webinar before we go offline today. After that, this little graphic will disappear. Okay, so that's the order form. Let's get back. I got a couple more things to share with you. Then I'm going to get back into a little bit of teaching. Then I'm going to take your questions. So let me ask you something. If Sellerator only gave you a head start in creating a money magnet VSL, just a head start, if it just gave you the momentum that it takes to get started to succeed, which could, let me tell you something, momentum is everything to success. Ask any business person that's succeeding, ask any athlete, ask anyone in the world that succeeded at anything. Momentum is the secret sauce. If I just gave you momentum to finally get a head start and do it, wouldn't it be worth the price? Of course it would. What if I just gave you that community of profitable marketers that are ready to help you right now? Would that be worth the price? Just access to that alone? Of course it would. What if I just increased your sales only 30%? Now, this used to be called 3x VSL because 3x stood for 300%. But what if I only did 10% of that? 30% increase in your sales. Over time, would it be worth the price? Of course it would. A 30% increase in sales would add up pretty quickly. Even if it was a low dollar product, you would get more customers that you could sell more products to. Of course it would. So even if it did just that, but let's carry it to the extreme. What if I gave you one new customer? You're probably laughing. One new customer? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm selling a $19 book. Well, let me give you an example. Remember that mansion that I showed you in Malibu? Okay. That was bought using $47 ebooks as the front end. $47. But the average lifetime value of a good customer can be over $300. Over $300. So over the course of a year or two, I would generate, well, actually over the course of a year, that's my yearly value, I generate at least $300 from a good customer. So look at it this way. That means you would only need 7 new customers to pay for all of this, the entire Sellerator package, plus the coaching. And that's only if you have a $47 front end sale with no back end sales. I mean, that's how ludicrously low this investment really is. And let me tell you, you either invest in new customer acquisition or you cease to exist online. And this is one of the best ways to do it. Get new customers using a money magnet VSL, the very best way to do it. So let me just have a look at this again, 1997, and be honest. Making such a small investment in the future of your lifestyle, wouldn't this be something that you could say when the day is over today, to those that you are closest to, maybe your wife, maybe your husband, maybe your partner, maybe your best friend, your kids? Hey, I made a really wise choice today. Because let me tell you, you want to exercise your God-given power of choice. It's the most powerful thing that you own. But wouldn't it be cool to say, yeah, I chose something and I made a really wise decision. I'm now a part of a family of marketers. I have access to the very best money magnet VSL formula on the planet. And I've got all this other, I'll get every tool I need to succeed. That's what I want you to feel like today. But it's up to you. You have to point, click, test, do the work. But here's what I can promise you. This is the easiest method ever created to generate a money magnet VSL. If you're looking for something easier, it does not exist. Okay? Anything worth doing is a challenge. Anything worth doing has natural challenges in it. Anything worth doing isn't innately easy, but this is the easiest it will ever get. And that is the most anyone on the planet can promise you, to give you the easiest way possible. Now, there are 2 paths that you can take. You can do nothing. We've kind of already talked about that, but let me ask you this. Where will you be 7 days from now? Is there a shot in hell that you will have a money magnet VSL ready to roll out? No, of course not. Or that in 28 days, you'll have a product that you could sell forever or give away as a lead magnet or use as a bonus. No, there's just not. The odds are next to nothing. Or you could take action now. You could spend far, far less than you would on a cheesy traffic course and get the number 1 tool required for traffic to even work. The number 1 tool. If without a sales page, traffic doesn't do jack. So the very first thing, the most important thing that you need is a money magnet VSL. And let me tell you, is it worth a guaranteed gamble? Let's have some fun. I want to get a little crazy. What if Vegas guaranteed your success on a slot machine? You walk up to a slot machine and there's a guy standing there. You're going, I don't know if I want to risk a quarter. You know, I've got a couple $100 in quarters here, but I don't know if I want to risk it. The guy goes, well, here's what I'll tell you what. You just keep playing the slot machine. And, you know, if after 30 minutes it doesn't work for you, I'll fix the slot machine. There's probably something wrong with it. And if it doesn't work after that, I'll give you your money back. Would you gamble a few grand? Would you gamble a few $100,000? Of course you would. Because what if it pays off, right? A guaranteed gamble, there's a reason that Vegas doesn't do that. Well, so let me ask you this. If Sellerator gave you just half of what I've been promising you, would it be worth a guaranteed gamble? Of course it would. Of course it would. Now, as promised, I have 2 sales multipliers that I want to share with you, okay? Multiplier number 1 is a multiple choice pattern interrupt. It's a new style of pattern interrupt that we've been using inside video sales letters. But here's what's cool. This pattern interrupt works fantastic in email. So you can literally take this and use it tonight. Here's all you do. It works off of the psychology of quizzes. Quizzes are really hot right now. And so we're just tapping into the thing with quizzes. And it works fantastic. And it starts off with a question. Which one of these three things is the true number one cause of blank? And blank is the problem that you're dealing with. What's the true number one cause of belly fat? What's the true number one cause of failing online? What's the true number one cause of dog peeing on the house? It can be anything. It doesn't matter. Which one of these three things? And then before you list the three things, I'm going to give you a hint. Almost everyone is focused on the wrong one. And that's why you're struggling with problem today. You see, you're focusing in the wrong direction. I'm going to show you the right direction. But the reason why you haven't, remember that aha moment I wanted you to have in that pattern interrupt where they go, oh, that's the reason I'm not succeeding. That's the reason I can't lose weight. That's the reason I can't sell real estate. That's the reason I don't have the relationship of my dreams. Maybe this is it for me. That's the aha moment that I want your user to have. So check this out. I'll share the answer with you in a few minutes. First, let me make you a rock solid promise, just like I did. Make them an audacious promise. I'm going to promise that if you apply my solutions to this problem, you'll get blank, blank, and blank. And then you list the three things. And what you want to do for the three things is very simple. You take two things that a lot of people think are solutions to the problem that really aren't, and then you give your solution to the problem. That's it. And then you tell them that chances are almost everyone is focused on the wrong one. That simple pattern interrupt works so well, especially in emails. Try it out, check it out for yourself, and you'll get a lot of pattern interrupts. In fact, you get all the ones that have been tested to do billions a year, over 1.3 billion a year, in just the clients that I know. And certainly billions a year overall for VSLs. Now, I got another one for you. That's that secret traffic website. It was a secret to me, so it might not be a secret to you, but I certainly didn't know about it. And it's one that I use to ethically steal my competitors' traffic sources. This is a tip courtesy of Russell Brunson. He gets all the credit for this. I love Russell, and I love this tip so much, I just had to share it with you. Okay, step number one is I use ClickBank, but you can use anything. It doesn't have to be ClickBank. I just want to go find what the top product online is in a particular niche. So ClickBank will show you that. So will a lot of other online merchants. I just happen to like ClickBank. So when I went to ClickBank, and it's funny because I went there the other day, and Venus Factor was the number one in health and fitness. Well, it's interesting because guess what? Sellerator customer. Number 2, ED protocol, Sellerator customer. Number 3, look down there, diabetes, Sellerator customer. So it's kind of interesting. You got the top 3 here that are Sellerator customers. But and Venus actually consulted with me. So they did a little bit more than just be a customer. They did more than just buy the program. They consulted with me. Now, these guys are making in the area of $50,000 a day from this offer with a VSL. Okay? That's what's possible when you have a money magnet VSL. You're using the same formula that I shared with you inside Accelerator. Now, you should be thinking, hey, 50 grand a day. What if I could get just a percentage of that traffic? I might not be able to get 50 grand, but what if I could get 10? What if I could, what if I could make $500 a day? How are they doing it, and where are they getting that traffic? That's what you need to know. How they're doing it and where they're getting the traffic. So here's what you do. Don't do this now, otherwise you'll lose the workshop and we can't take your questions. But when we're done, go to similarweb.com. And I've got to show you how to use it too, so stick around. So write this URL down, similarweb.com. Check it out after we close today. And by the way, this is a free site. There's a paid version, but I can use the free one. It's literally what I call the millionaire marketer's most well-guarded secret. At least it was for me. This site shows you exactly where your top competitors are getting their traffic and a ton more, as you'll see. So step 3 is what you'll want to do is you'll just enter the site, like it's a Venus Factor right there, and hit search, and it will take you to this page. This shows you how much traffic they're getting, and more importantly than where they're getting it, and to me, is how they're getting it. What are they using? Is it a paper ad click? Is it a banner? Is it, what is it? Smoke signals? What are they doing? If you could clone what they're doing, where they're doing it, doesn't it make sense that you could clone some of their customers? Of course it does. And listen, these guys are spending $40K a day, I'm sure, on traffic. Okay, you don't have to do that. What if you spend $100? You would get some of their traffic, and it's completely legal and ethical. And it's no different than Burger King, whose strategy, by the way, is to wait for McDonald's to scout out a location and then build close to them. So they don't spend $1 million per store for location. They just wait for McDonald's, which I think is so brilliant, right? Well, there's nothing illegal about that. That's just smart. Okay. So when you're done with this, you click on the button on below this that says referral and watch what happens. It's going to take you to their top referring sites. Their top referring sites means the sites they're getting their most traffic from. Now look at their number one site. I want you to take all 5, by the way. Their number one site, which is, it's barely number one, but it's up there. It's a site called lifeguru.com. If you type that in, here's what would come up. And look at what we see at the bottom right-hand corner. We see the ad that's driving a good percentage of that $50,000 a day traffic. That ugly ad. I know that ugly ad well because it's the same ad that we use to sell Every Other Day Diet. In fact, I was one of the guys that helped come up with it. So it's gone around this long and it still works. Okay? Now, what I'm suggesting is that you don't steal the ad. That's unethical. What I'm suggesting is that you mirror it and you make a version of your own. You make slight changes to the headline, maybe, slight changes to the copy, slight changes to the images. And here's how you do that. Go to a site called $20banners.com. It costs you, guess how much? $20. And just tell them that you want to model the design, the message, get your banners designed there, and they'll shoot you back several versions of it so you can get something that looks similar. Now, again, this is a product or service that you are interested in selling yourself. So you go to your competitor's website. If it was finance, you would go to finance. If it was dog training, you would go to dog training. This is fitness, so then went to fitness. Okay? Then after you get your banner, all you do is contact the website owner and you buy traffic on that same exact website. We already know this works. Okay? So if they won't accept your traffic buy because this guy might have bought something out, go to the second and go to the third traffic sources. Eventually, you're going to get some traffic in there. And even if you get a fraction of it, you can start adding, a couple $100 here a day, maybe $500, maybe $1,000 a day. It'll start adding up. Presto, you have an instant source for proven traffic. So click the Order Now button that you see on the screen right now, and let's get you in while there's still a chance. Now, we're going to go to questions because we got a lot of them. I'm going to bring Leanne back on the line. But let me level with you first. Sellerator is one of those kinds of investments where you need to consider doing what you have to do to make it happen. Here's why. Money will always come back to you. It will come back once every 2 weeks or once every month if you get a paycheck. But the things that don't come back to you, time, freedom, that never comes back. So every moment that you spend without a VSL working for you is time you can never recover. Time making money. Time you could be spending with your friends or your family because you have a business that's at least somewhat on autopilot, maybe entirely on autopilot, earning you cash 24/7 thanks to the staying power of a VSL. So beg, borrow, or don't steal, sell some stuff on eBay. Do whatever you need to do to cover the full pay investment. Because the good news is that kind of financial embarrassment, if you have to go that far, is soon to be forever behind you. Don't be sitting here a year from now wondering why you're no further ahead financially, please. No further ahead with giving your family the life they deserve. Still blowing your life maybe with some stupid corporate job, or struggling needlessly, working like I was 17 hours a day, working yourself into an early grave to try to make your online business work. Please don't look back at yourself and see yourself in the same place you are right now, a year from now, just a year older and a year closer to death. I mean, seriously, how many years do you have left to mess around with this stuff? Other people are succeeding now. They've got these tools. They've got this coaching. They're pursuing their life's passions. And what I think is even more powerful, they're helping other people because their products and services do something to make an impact on the world. Entrepreneurs are the backbone of our society. And this is your chance to really stake your claim, create a legacy you're proud of, help hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people, and get the life and freedom that you deserve. Why not you? Why can you not do this? Well, there's no reason now. You've got all the tools at your disposal, and now you've got a great price right in front of you, only $19.97. Okay, Leanne, we're going to come on with Q&A. We're going to take as many questions as we can before we call it a night. And just a word of note here, we're going to get to as many questions as we can. There's so many of them, we probably can't cover all of them. We're going to take some of the most commonly asked questions. Leanne's going to help field them. If we don't answer them, ask them in the chat, and we've got guys standing by to answer questions if we don't get to that. But we're going to do our best. So, Leanne, let's start off. Who do we have first, and what's the question?
Alrighty, we got a lot of good ones for you, so get ready, John.
Right.
First one from Gustavo asks, hey, is Accelerator, does it make VSLs that are good for service businesses as well as physical products?
Yeah, we get asked that a lot, Gustavo, and the answer is yes, most certainly. Physical products, company like BioTrust, for example, several $100 million company uses VSLs almost exclusively. In fact, Sellerator style VSLs almost exclusively to sell their supplements. We have numerous clients selling anything from real estate to cars to hardback books. The physical nature of the product is no longer even the issue. People will buy physical as quickly as digital. Services is actually one of the best ways to sell services is through a shorter version of a VSL. That's why I give you a 1 minute and a 5 minute and a 20 minute version of the VSL formula inside Accelerator. So you can sell a service by getting lead gen. You can do a 5 minute VSL just to pretty much encapsulate what your service is, and you can qualify them and to either follow up with them with a live call, which is what I recommend if your services are higher dollar, or you can sell them right there with a VSL on the next page if your services are medium priced. Anything under the $300 a month range is easy to sell with a VSL. Good question. Okay, next.
All right, next question is, it's kind of similar. Dave asks, how does a VSL work to generate leads for a business?
You mean like
not to sell something.
Okay.
So if I have a business and I just want to generate leads, I really don't want to sell anything on the VSL.
Okay. That's interesting. It's one of the best lead gens in the world. Again, using the 1 minute or 5 minute VSL formula is a great lead generation. You tell a little bit of the story and you say, if this sounds interesting, you give me your name and email address below, and I'll send you to another article or another video, and then you can send them to a VSL. So a lot of people use VSL for lead captures so they use them on Facebook as well. So good question. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks.
Oh, alrighty. And then
I saw Dorian asked a question about B2B. Did I see that come in?
Not yet. I was going to get that next. Dorian is asking, and all these questions are kind of similar. Okay. How does this work if you have a B2B product?
Okay, we get that one a lot too. I'm glad that somebody asked it. B2B is not much different than B2C except for a positioning factor. And there's a case study video right now in the Copy Posse. We just uploaded it on how to do a B2B. It's from somebody that succeeded at it using Sellerator. So that would give you more information than you could ever want to know. It's awesome. But the answer to your question is yes, you can definitely sell B2B because the psychology behind the person making the decision is still the same as a single consumer. It's still the same. You still have to build the rapport. They have to be connected to you through that whole money magnet philosophy that I have with Copy. Still the same thing, and certainly a lot of our customers use it for B2B. So good question. Cool. All right.
All right. Then we have Clemens. Do you know of people using Sellerator to sell big ticket items like cars, houses, so more expensive things than ebooks?
Yeah, so houses, we have somebody selling, we have one person I know that was selling houses and 3 people that are selling real estate in general, like high-end real estate courses and things like that. On Copy Posse, somebody just posted that they used the Sellerator persuasion formula videos to sell cars on eBay. So I don't know if a VSL that's actually selling cars, but I'm pretty sure that there is one out there because there's something out there for everything. The one thing with high ticket items in VSLs is that it's the same thing that you have on any online platform. If you very few people buy a house or a car online. What they do is they buy access or they get access for free to a qualified lead. So again, this is more of a lead thing. I would use it for a lead thing. Use it to get a lead to follow up there. And then you can use it to highly qualify the leads by walking them through the same abbreviated 5-step formula that you would find in the 1 minute or 5 minute VSL. And it's a great way to do it.
Perfect. Well, let's skip over to Bob. He has an interesting question. He says, John, the tone of the copy in the VSL has to be different if you sell to executives rather than consumers, right?
Yes and no. I'm going to go with no, and I'll tell you why. Some people would say, yeah, it needs to be a little bit different, but executives are, because I kind of am one. I own multiple companies. So I like it when people come to me with something bold. So, it can't be cheesy, and there's nothing that you want to do that's cheesy in Accelerator anyway, but it can certainly be bold. And that's going to get their attention because so many people are marketing to these guys with these kind of milquetoast, lame, soft sell approach. And they're busy. They get inundated with this stuff. So I think it's actually a superior way to do it. The only thing that I would change with the executives is I would take out a lot of personal story. So the nightmare story might be something around what one of their customers would experience as a nightmare. So what one of their employees, if you're selling something dealing with employees, that's a really cool thing to do. So yeah, great question. Thanks.
And a great answer. Let's see. Stuart, he is asking, am I correct in assuming that the Sellerator copy would work as a framework for a sales letter as well as a video sales letter?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, at the same time that you're creating a VSL, you're actually creating a sales page as well. So that's pretty cool. I mean, so literally you can click a button and out comes your sales page ready to copy and paste and stick into WordPress or whatever you use. So a strategy a lot of guys are using with the top VSLs is they'll have the VSL up, and if someone windows out, they'll have an exit splash that comes up and says, hey, would you rather read an article on this topic, whatever it is? And they click yes, stay on the page, and it takes them to the exact same thing, only it's a written version of the VSL. And it works really, really well to alternate those two that way. So the answer is yes. And if you want even further stuff in there, I do sell a product that addresses sales letters particular only to customers. It's inside the Sellerator interface. You can get it that way. But really, I mean, honestly, I would just start with what Sellerator generates natively and just use that as your sales letter copy.
Oh, perfect. Well, and obviously that's easier because you create it once and use it twice. So it's leverage.
Exactly.
Let's see. Let's scoot down to Russ, who asks, how long do you spend gathering and putting together data before you actually start your VSL copy? And how does that process work?
That's a great question, Russ. And that's why the coaching is so important. In my first week of coaching, I give you the 5-step pre-check VSL system that I use. And I like to give it 7 days to collect the data. Once you follow these 5 steps, it puts you miles above anyone else because it will give you so much data in such a cool way too. When you see how it's done, it's going to answer almost every question you have, down to the hot words that people want to hear, down to the price they'll pay for the product. I mean, it's really awesome.
Perfect. Let's see. Drew is asking, with the rise of mobile, are VSLs better conversion? Do they convert better when they're desktop only, or should they be desktop and mobile? Or what's your answer? What's your feeling about that?
Right now, most of my clients are getting most of their sales on mobile, and that's with a VSL. So to answer your question, I think it's less what's more effective and more what people are going to more. People are they're living more on their mobile devices. So VSLs definitely work on that. The one thing that I recommend is if you want to go to an iPhone, for example, in a VSL, it says, look below this video now. And as you know, as you're playing a video only on an iPhone, you can't look below the video now because it's locked into their native, I believe it's a Flash player or whatever. But so you have to say, if it's going to an iPhone or going to a mobile device, you have to say, look below this video now, or if you're on your iPhone, close this window. Minimize this window so you can see below this video now, and it will take you to this awesome offer. So yes, it definitely works, and people will watch a VSL on a mobile phone. It's kind of entertaining. I wouldn't think they would, but they do. Yeah.
Interesting, and that's interesting. You have to know your medium, right?
Yeah.
So you have to. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Beth is asking, John, this all sounds great, but I'm not a copywriter. I really know nothing about copywriting. So can I really make Accelerator work for me?
Yeah, Beth, there's several parts in the workshop today where I alluded to this, and I can't overemphasize this enough, that the point of Accelerator is not to make you a copywriter. The point of Accelerator is to give you the ideal copy to sell to your specific product's audience. So let me be the copywriter. That's what I do. My brain is downloaded inside this machine, okay? I'm asking you to write around 500 words, which I coach you how to do. So just let the coaching and let the Accelerator do its job. And don't worry about trying to be a copywriter, because that's not going to help matters any. The copy's already proven in there, so there's no need to reinvent the wheel. And there's multiple iterations that you can choose so that you can be as unique as you want. But so yeah, don't relax on the copy. If this was, now don't get me wrong, if for copywriters, if they take this course, they're going to learn more about persuasion, NLP, and a lot of things that are really cool to copywriters just by watching the videos than they'll learn through any course out there. But yeah, that's only if you're really interested in that. If you're not, just watch the videos to figure out what to do and click buttons and type a few words. That's my suggestion. So great question. Thank you for that.
Awesome. Let's see. We're going to go now to Jeff. He's saying, asking this is a more advanced question, what kind of conversions or earnings per click should I get before testing? Should I get during testing before I approach affiliates?
Well, that is a very technical question, and the bottom line is it's EPCs and conversions are just two ways to judge the sale of a product. What most affiliates look for is really simple. How much will I make per per send that I do? So if you came back and you said, for example, my EPC is $2, but you had only 8 people click through, and then it doesn't matter if it's $2 because it's not going to make any money, right? If you have 10% conversions, but you only have, you have your email or your conversions, but your EPC on the conversions is, 30 cents, it's not going to matter. So what you need is to combine those numbers together. Well, what an affiliate wants to see is, look, on 1,000 clicks, I average X amount of EPC. In my industry, in fitness, and in internet marketing, most people are really happy if they get an EPC of $1. Some people want a little more, some people could do a little less. But that's a good target for over a percentage of clicks. So in other words, make sure you get 5,000 clicks, and that and then that's the kind of EPCs that they can be making. So work toward that, and that's kind of the magic number that I go for. And by the way, I've gotten far higher EPC than that, but I'm just saying that's where you want to start.
Cool, thanks. How about Kathy? She asked, John, how do you feel about putting a countdown timer on the page with the VSL?
I love it, and we do it all the time. We use deadline funnels to do it, so it's a very good approach. In fact, you're going to see a countdown timer on the checkout page. So look for that coming up here in a day or so, because we actually mean it. Whenever that countdown timer hits 0, the offer's off the table. It's gone, and I've had people test me on this, and they're always disappointed. So I really believe it, but I really highly encourage it to make it real. Don't make it fake. Make it real.
Thanks. I'm scrolling through.
A lot of questions, so we can take a few more here. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Scott asks, John, I'm not really a good writer, so I'm concerned about my dream story or the nightmare story. Do you have any advice on how to write that or how to construct it if you're not a writer?
Yeah, you can literally point and click and choose the stories that I've already written and literally just say, and just change the topic or change the subject or change the pronouns. I mean, if you really want to do it that way, that's how you can do it. But I go through the story formula tutorials in the video. So once you learn the formula, it's a lot easier than you think. That story formula that I showed you in the tutorial today works so well, and it's a lot. And once you start writing inside that formula, you relax, and it really comes easy. It really does. But you don't have to. When I said that some people write as little as 250 words, is because they click and choose my stories, and they simply just change some variables in them. So that's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is I think you'll surprise yourself.
Thanks. All right. Well, let's squeeze in Pete's question. He's asking, should the words in the slides be title case with each word capitalized, or does it matter? What have you found, John?
No, it doesn't matter. It used to matter, but it doesn't matter. We have it just normal case now. So you can break up some slides here and there and go title case, but you can just do normal case. And the other thing I like to do now recently that I have just started doing is limiting the number of words per slide to like 15. So the slides go by in rapid fire fashion. I think that's a really cool strategy as well. I saw something come in, it just kind of rolled past me. Someone's asking if this works for software, SaaS and service consulting businesses. And I think it was Josh that asked that. And the answer is absolutely yes. In fact, this is SaaS if you think about it. And it depends on the cost that you're charging for software. So again, everything is cost based. So at the very least, it will introduce your audience to the awesomeness of your software or your consulting business and allow you to collect a very lucrative lead. And I do have people selling just flat out. They sell their software right out of a VSL. They sell their consulting right out of a VSL. So the answer is yes to that. Cool. We'll get time for a few more here.
How about Francesca's? She's looking for people who sell actual physical products, physical goods, not just webinars and courses, but she has a 10-year-old company that sells actual physical consumer products.
Yeah, we answered that question earlier, or very similar to it. It was one of the first questions. Again, and she probably has the answer now, but just in case she doesn't, yes, absolutely. A lot of our customers sell physical products. I gave the example of BioTrust, for example.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Supplements.
Okay.
So, yeah, cool. So now we can squeeze in a few more. I mean, I see a couple of these coming over here, and they're going by really, really quick. So like, how long is the average VSL? By the way, since I just asked myself that question, how long is the average VSL? The average VSL is 42 minutes long. That's on average, and that's for what we call the standard, the classic VSL is about 42 minutes. There are some VSLs. I just did one that's 90 minutes long. That's selling like crazy. Some that are 2 hours long. Some that are 18 minutes long. So it's not how long it is. That's the question. It's how interesting and engaging and rapport building it is. And that's why Accelerator is so powerful. It builds all that in. Cool. Well, we got time for, right. Let's do one or two more.
All right. I've got Sharon. She's asking not just about the words on a slide. She's saying for the slides on the VSL, do you still advise white background, black print? And
yeah.
Or should you add pictures? And or more Andy Jenkins, Phil Same, like, you know,
I got
high quality video. Yeah.
The vast majority of VSLs are white text, black text, white background, red highlights, the same as it's always been in the ugly VSL. There are exceptions to that. If you're going to what I call a softer market, like if you're in personal development, if you're in spirituality, if you sell a lot to women, except for weight loss, for whatever reason this doesn't work in weight loss, then adding some pictures and adding some soft texture backgrounds can boost conversions. The way that you want to do this, though, is you don't want to go into full video, really, unless it's very rare that you need that. If you add pictures, sprinkle them in, make sure that there's plenty of VSL copy in between, and then put the copy of the VSL slide that the picture goes over at the bottom of the picture, so that there's never just a picture on the screen. That way you keep the hypnotic effect of the writing going on. It's a good test. Get your VSL working first and then test it in adding pictures. Sometimes it adds conversion. Sometimes it actually makes it worse. So it depends on your market, but that's how you would do it. So really good question. Thanks.
Hey, can you squeeze in? Ellen has a question about testimonials.
Yeah.
She said, John, should I put testimonials and case studies in my VSL? And if so, where do I put them?
That's all inside the Sellerator formula. You've got it literally exactly where to put it and exactly how to word them too. There's a really clever way of getting the wording for that. Speaking of which, we've got lots of people coming on board here. You got Scott, you got Martin, we got Clemens, we got a lot of people coming on as clients. Thank you so much for that. People coming in left and right. They're getting involved in the coaching too. That's awesome. If you have any other questions, please type them in the chat. They will go to our admins and we'll try to get them answered for you. I just want to end with this one thought for you. Again, they call it the crossroads close in marketing. And the crossroads close is one of those things where you have two roads that you can take. As cheesy as that is the truth. So I want to echo back to this. I've already told you that you have two paths you can take. One is the do nothing and one is the do something. That's really it. The third one, though, there's a third path. And the third path is to try to do this on your own. And I'm honest when I say this. I hope I gave you enough information to at least let you get started or try to do this on your own. Chances are very great that you're going to really screw this up if you do this on your own. So there are three options. It's kind of like a three-pronged path. Do nothing and you'll get nowhere. Try it on your own and I can almost guarantee you're going to end up really frustrated. Or invest literally the cost of 7 clients at $47 each, what I told you earlier, $19.97 to get everything that you see on the screen. After it's over, you'll lose out on the bonuses and it goes back to $29.97 full pay and $9,000 for the coaching. So act now, and I look forward to seeing you inside the Sellerator VIP membership area.